I inherited my mother's cabin only to discover it ensnared in barbed wire, courtesy of our power-hungry HOA president, who was quietly seizing properties for his clandestine development project. Little did he know, he'd just yashin at a war with the state governor herself. What would you do if your own community tried to strip away what's rightfully yours? No, 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 I exclaimed, nearly dropping my coffee mug. A woman in a sharp navy suit was nailing a glaring red sign onto Grandpa's cabin, our cabin now. Mom had inherited it just last month, and we hadn't even finished unpacking her belongings. Heart racing, I dashed outside. Excuse me, what are you doing to our property? The woman turned deliberately, as if I'd interrupted something critical. Her name tag read MS. Harper, HOA Compliance Officer. This cabin violates Section 8 of Pinewood Lakes regulations, she said, consulting her clipboard. The roof's non-compliant, the color's unapproved, that old boat shouldn't be visible from the road, and don't even get me started on those wildflowers. I glanced at Grandpa's little wooden rowboat, painted a vivid green when I was a kid, and the wildflowers, Mom's favorites. There's got to be a mistake, I said, struggling to keep my voice calm. This cabin's been here for 60 years, built long before any HOA existed. MS. Harper's smile was anything but warm. Rules are rules. When your mother inherited this property, it fell under our current standards. She thrust a binder at me, thick enough to double as a shield. You have 14 days to address these issues, or daily fines will commence. As she strutted to her sleek black SUV, I noticed a man across the street snapping photos of our cabin with a high-end camera. My gut twisted, something was off. I called Mom immediately. You won't believe this, I blurted. Slow down, Ethan, she replied, her voice weary. As state governor, she was perpetually solving crises. Tell me exactly what's happening. After I recounted everything, I expected reassurance. Instead, she sighed. I feared this might happen. The Pinewood Lake HOA has been trouble for years. They've driven out 3 families on our street alone with absurd rules and fines. But that's not fair. Can they really do this? Technically, yes, she admitted. When property changes hands, many grandfathered exemptions vanish. Don't worry, I'll make some calls. Just don't sign anything or pay fines until I get there this weekend. Over the next 3 days, I pored over that monstrous binder. Some rules were reasonable. Yard maintenance, for instance, but others were ludicrous. Houses restricted to a dull palette of tans and grays, no visible gardens, no overnight street parking, no bikes or toys left outside. It felt like they wanted to erase any trace of life. On Friday evening, as I raked leaves, a cheerful voice called out, "You must be Governor Ellis's son." An older man with a border collie stood by our fence. "I'm Tom, from 2 houses down. Don't let Harper intimidate you. She targets all the newcomers." "Why?" I asked, leaning on my rake. Tom glanced around before lowering his voice. "Between us, something shady's going on. The HOA started buying properties last year, especially lakefront cabins like yours." A chill ran down my spine. Why would they want ours? Not sure, but Victor Grayson runs the HOA now, and he owns Grayson Heights Development. Quite a coincidence, huh? Before Tom could elaborate, MS. Harper materialized, her tone icy. "Mr. Carter, your dog's off leash again. Violation number 3 this month." Tom's warm expression hardened. "We're on private property, Margaret." "The sidewalk isn't," she snapped, then turned to me. "I hope you're addressing those violations." "Fines start Monday." After she left, Tom whispered, "Be careful. She's Grayson's enforcer. They're targeting specific properties, yours included." That night, sleep eluded me. I rummaged through Grandpa's attic files and found the original 1962 deed, no mention of an HOA. Then I uncovered something intriguing. Our cabin sat on land linking the lake to the main road, prime real estate for a large development's entrance. Saturday morning, aggressive knocking jolted me awake. 3 men in matching Pinewood HOA polos stood at the door. "Inspection time," the tallest announced, brushing past me. "Wait, you can't just barge in. This is private property." They ignored me, fanning out to photograph and critique. Kitchens non-compliant, bathroom fixtures outdated, living room furniture visible through windows. "Get out now," I demanded, blocking their path to the bedrooms. You need permission, and you don't have it. The leader smirked. Section 23 of the HOA agreement grants us inspection rights with 24-hour notice. I never agreed to any HOA rules. Your mother did when she accepted the property transfer, he replied, flashing a document with a signature that didn't resemble Mom's. Hands trembling, I recorded them on my phone. I'm calling the police. You're trespassing. Their bravado faltered. We left notice yesterday, one insisted. No, you didn't, and that's not her signature. They exchanged uneasy looks and bolted. As they fled, I overheard. Grayson said this'd be simple. I called Mom instantly. I'm 2 hours away, she said, her voice taut. Ethan, photograph everything. If they forged my signature, this is serious fraud. While awaiting her, I documented the property and spotted fresh survey stakes slicing through our land from the road to the lake, exactly as I'd suspected. Tom reappeared at the fence. Those stakes weren't there yesterday. Grayson's making his move. What move? I asked. He handed me a folded newspaper. Read this, announced this morning. The headline blared, Luxury Resort Plan for Pinewood Lake. Grayson Heights promises economic boost. The blueprint showed a sprawling complex where our cabin and others stood. My jaw dropped. When Mom arrived, I whispered, they've lost it. Barbed wires around the whole property now. A massive red major violation sign adorned the door. Barbed wire. Mom's voice cracked. That's not legal. Take pictures. I'm calling our lawyer. I documented the wire's rusted barbs, a stark contrast to our 60 years of tranquility. How had our cabin become a war zone? Our contractor, Luis, pulled up, stunned. What happened? I was set to start the roof today. The HOA's gone mad, I explained, pointing to the notice. Can you work with this barrier? No way, Luis said, handing me a cease and desist order signed by Grayson. They'll fine me $500 daily without their approval. They can't do this. We have county permits. County permits don't trump HOA rules, Luis said gently. They make renovations impossible, then fine you for neglect. A vicious trap. MS. Harper arrived, clipboard in hand, feigning concern. Oh, you weren't supposed to see this yet. We tried calling. Why's there barbed wire? I demanded. Safety precaution. Abandoned properties attract trouble, she said smoothly. Abandoned? We were here last weekend. She consulted her clipboard. Your renovation plans were rejected yesterday. 17 unresolved violations. No work can proceed. Luis whispered, I can't risk the fines, and left. MS. Harper added, the board will review your case next month. Until then, it's non-compliant. $100 daily fines start now. Speechless, I watched her drive off. Fines would reach thousands before the meeting. Tom hurried over, glancing nervously. This isn't about rules. It's about forcing you out. Why? I asked, tears of frustration welling. He unfolded a map from a town hall meeting. Grayson unveiled more resort details last night. The entrance road runs through your property. Every cabin on this stretch is getting hit. A chill gripped me. They were systematically clearing land for Grayson's project. Your mom's cabin is the key. They need it for the access road. Does Grayson know she's the governor? I doubt it. She keeps her private life quiet. Most don't know she owns this. Tom nodded. That could work in our favor. I've been gathering evidence. Properties they target end up with Grayson's shell companies. That night, I stayed at the cabin despite its condemned state, unwilling to leave it defenseless. Around midnight, headlights swept my room. 2 men with flashlights examined our property line, hammering stakes that shrank our land by feet. I filmed them silently. At dawn, I called the county recorder. I need to verify 42 Lakeview Road's boundaries. The clerk yawned. Those were updated yesterday. How? New survey by the Pinewood HOA. They can't change lines without consent. Paperwork shows consent from Victor Grayson, listed as property manager. Furious, I hung up and called Mom. But her assistant said she was in budget meetings all day. Desperate, I drove to the county building department. A sympathetic clerk frowned. Pinewood HOA's notorious. Most owners sell because fighting's too costly. I'm not selling, I insisted. Then get a lawyer, kid. Grayson's got powerful allies. Back at the cabin, the barbed wire was now padlocked, with a notice threatening trespassing charges for entry. Sitting in my car, Staring at my childhood haven now caged, I realized this was calculated theft via bureaucracy. Mom texted, "Arriving tomorrow. Don't act or sign anything." Too late. They were forging signatures already. Memories flooded back. Grandpa crafting this cabin. Mom teaching me to swim. Family barbecues on the deck. I wouldn't let Grayson erase that for his resort. As night fell, vehicles circled slowly, watching, waiting for us to surrender. "You picked the wrong family," I muttered, opening my laptop to document everything. Mom wasn't just any owner. She was the governor, capable of launching investigations. Grayson had no clue what awaited him. At the Pinewood Lake Community Center, a crowd gathered. Every neighbor within miles seemed present. My heart pounded as I clutched photos of our barbed-wired cabin. "Will you let them get away with this?" an elderly man asked, gripping my arm. "They forced my son out last year with fake violations." Before I could respond, the doors opened. The room was packed, whispers buzzing as 5 HOA board members sat like a tribunal. Victor Grayson tapped his mic, his dark hair impeccable. "Welcome to the monthly Pinewood Lake Association meeting. We've got several properties in violation tonight." MS. Harper distributed packets. When she reached me, her smile was frigid. "See what everyone's looking at," she murmured. The packet contained 20 photos of Mom's cabin, each violation circled in red, peeling paint, the garden, even shots through our windows. "First item," Grayson declared, "the abandoned property at 847 Lakeview Drive." My hand shot up. "It's not abandoned. My mother owns it." Grayson feigned surprise. "The owner hasn't responded to 17 notices. Because you're sending them to an old address." I stood, brandishing the barbed wire photos. "And this is your response, caging our property?" Murmurs spread. "The protective fencing complies with Section 23, MS." Harper interjected, tapping a rulebook. "Hazardous properties must be secured." Hazardous? It's a 60-year-old family cabin. Grayson leaned forward. "Our packet details structural and aesthetic violations. If unresolved within 30 days, Section 47B permits us to claim abandoned properties." Gasps erupted. "You can't take private property." I protested. "Actually, MS." Harper pointed to the rulebook. "It's clear in Section 47B. The back doors burst open. Mom strode in, her blazer pristine despite the long drive, the state seal glinting. She fixed Grayson with a stare. "We should discuss the illegality of barbed wire without consent, not to mention trespassing, photographing through windows, and attempted seizure." The room fell silent. Grayson paled, fumbling papers. "Madam Governor, we didn't know this was your property. Would it matter if it wasn't?" Mom set her briefcase down with a thud. "My office's initial investigation suggests this isn't your first questionable seizure." A man stood. "They took my sister's house last year. Said her mailbox broke 6 rules. My shed was a height violation," another shouted. Grayson banged his gavel. "Order." Mom opened her briefcase. "Here's how every seized property aligns with Grayson Heights luxury development plans." The room erupted as people surged forward. Grayson's face reddened, his gavel useless. MS. Harper edged toward a side door, but neighbors blocked her. "This meeting's adjourned." Grayson yelled, standing. "Sit down, Victor," a sheriff's deputy ordered, entering. "We've got questions about HOA fund misuse." As Grayson slumped, Mom winked at me. The fight was on, and hope flickered alive. Rain hammered the cabin as I paced 3 days after the chaotic meeting. Neighbors' HOA horror stories flooded my phone. "Ethan, look at this," Mom called from the kitchen table, buried in papers. Her email revealed Grayson's history. He bought struggling HOAs, rewrote bylaws, and ousted owners for his projects. A knock startled us. Investigator Carla Mendez, State Attorney's Office, a rain-drenched woman announced, badge in hand. "The governor requested us." Mom smiled wearily. "Thanks for coming." Mendez laid out a folder. "Thompson's company bought the Pinewood HOA contract 3 years ago. They've seized 12 properties with fabricated violations. 12 families." I asked, sickened. "Legal on paper," Mendez said. The bylaws were rewritten post-takeover, granting the board unchecked power. Most owners don't notice. Another knock. Tom, soaked with a pouch. "You need to see this." A retired surveyor, he spread maps. "They target strategic properties blocking Grayson's plan. Your cabin's key for access roads. Mendez photographed them. This shifts everything. We need witness statements. Lightning flashed, and I saw a shadow outside. Someone's there, I whispered. We doused the lights as a figure neared. A crash. Glass exploded as a rock smashed our window, scattering papers. Mendez drew her gun. Mom pulled me back. Everyone okay? Mendez asked. Tom lifted the rock. A note read, back off or worse comes next. They've gone criminal, Mom said, sweeping glass, hands trembling. Threatening estate officials of felony, Mendez said, calling for patrols. I pulled up our security footage, MS. Harper, hooded, threw the rock and fled. Later, she stuffed neighbors' mailboxes with notices. They're building cases against everyone in their way, Mom said. At dawn, Mendez got a call. Grayson filed to condemn 5 properties, including this one, claiming storm damage. There's no damage but their window. I protested. He doesn't know we've got video, Mendez said. He's panicking. Mom stood. Then we moved faster. Tom, rally the affected. Carla, we need injunctions. As they sprang into action, I stared at the broken window. This wasn't just about our cabin anymore. News trucks lined the state building where Mom would speak. I adjusted my tie, hands shaking. All our evidence against Grayson hinged on this. Ready? Mom squeezed my shoulder, composed in her governor's jacket. Reporters swarmed. Governor Ellis, is it true the HOA barbed wired your property? She smiled and pressed on. Inside, the hearing room hummed. Tom waved from the back. Grayson sat with lawyers, exuding confidence. Judge Larson banged her gavel. We're here to probe Pinewood Lake HOA abuses. Mom stood with our family album and papers. My son and I uncovered a disturbing pattern. This HOA, led by Grayson, isn't protecting our community, it's stealing homes. She displayed maps of seized properties aligning with Grayson's wetland-destroying resort. Grayson flushed. These claims are baseless. We enforce agreed standards. Mom projected our barbed-wired cabin. Is this standard, imprisoning property without a court? Judge Larson frowned. I've never seen such measures. Then MS. Harper stood, pale. I need to speak. Grayson hissed. Sit down, Margaret. She approached the front, clutching a USB. This has recordings of HOA meetings. Grayson ordered us to target properties for his plans with fake violations. Grayson lunged. Guards restrained him. He'd take my house if I didn't comply, Harper wept. Half the board was blackmailed. Neighbors nodded. Mom played a recording, Grayson's voice. Target the green cabin next. Once we control the lakefront, old rules won't matter. As Grayson was escorted out, shouting about higher forces, my stomach knotted. Who else was involved? That night, Tom showed me records. Grayson's firm tied to a shell company run by Senator James Holt. Then Mom's phone rang. They've done what? She paled. To the cabin now. Flames roared as we arrived. Arson. A firefighter handed Mom a note. Drop it, or next time we won't miss. News crews swarmed. Mom faced them. They tried to silence us, but this cabin's 3 generations of memories and proof of their corruption. The story went national. Holt was arrested, Grayson's partner in a statewide scam. Our cabin became a hub as neighbors rebuilt it, trust reborn. The HOA dissolved, replaced by a cooperative. On our new porch, Mom said, standing up matters. Fireflies danced over the lake. Grandpa's legacy not just saved, but a spark for change.